Welcome to Boating on a Budget. This is the second part of a double header episode where we've actually started work rebuilding the boat properly. Last time you'll seen we started getting the flooring in and we got a bit of a cliffhanger as to a big reveal about how we're actually doing the floor that's a little bit different to normal. So come on, let's jump straight in, get back to the action and have a look at what we're up to. Now we've got us brew, I'll show you what I mean about the floor, because I came up with this really clever idea, didn't I?
Yeah.
It's got wings. This floor's got wings. No, basically, the flooring in this boat was at such a level that with the ceiling in, you didn't even really get quite 6 foot headroom. And me being 6'2", alright, we're a little bit smaller than that. But it does obviously limit the height of the ceiling. So what we thought was, if we lowered the centre of the floor, and I hope I explained this right and you can kind of see it on the camera. If we lowered the centre of the floor, we're gaining about 2 inches extra in headroom, which...
It's a lot.
2 inches is quite a bit.
It's a lot.
So we've kind of done it, the main floor is sat lower than it was before. Originally it was sat here, on this joist. So by the time we'd done, the floor level was about here, whereas now it's down there, which you'll say is about 2 inches different. And then on these edges, it now steps up, which you might think, oh, you don't want steps in your boat, but you don't stand there, do you?
Never.
Clearly, especially when this framework's built, you're not walking down there, are you?
No.
And a lot of this space down the sides, I mean, part of it when it's the kitchen, obviously all the kitchen units will be covering that bit. Bathroom, you're going to have the shower tray and things built into it. The bedroom, when that's done, the water tank's going to be here, the bed's going to be above it. So on a lot of the boat, you're not even actually going to see these bits.
No.
Never mind walk on them. So the little step up isn't an issue. But so we've gained that 2 inches in headroom.
Which is what you need, isn't it?
Yeah, because not only is it the actual headroom, it's the space that you feel as well, isn't it? Obviously the higher it is, the more space you feel, and we've got square sides, so it feels quite wide on this narrow boat. So the more we can gain height-wise, I'm also thinking might be able to adapt these to take them back by maybe about 1 inch as well, so that'd give another inch. So we'd end up probably somewhere around 6'3" headroom, rather than as we were before, sort of struggling for 6 foot. So.
Yeah. And
this is why I don't get any sleep, because I lay awake at night thinking of things like this.
Genius.
Genius, madness. They say the two are very close. Brew time. Let's now have a look at a few of the steps that are involved in fitting this floor. These then are just the spacers that make that little wing bit sit nice and level. Obviously just need them spread out across the length of it, and then when the facing board goes on, you'll not even see these, they're just there as support. Something else for Dawn to put black paint on. So I've bought a new toy and it seems that Dawn's took over. I don't go wearing her Timberlands, do I? clear off. This is my toy. I want to play. Now, so I'm using this to cut the notches for them floor joists. Basically just cutting the right depth down, so it's going 23mm down. I'll then knock that main bit off with the chisel, then get the router just to clean it all out so it's the right depth. But I must say, it's not a bad little tool, is it?
That's nice, I like it.
Say it's not the most super powerful thing, but for the sort of stuff we're going to be doing, I think we've made the right decision that it's battery powered, we can charge the battery up.
It's nice.
And then we've got a fully mobile little mitre, so
I'm impressed.
money well spent.
I like it.
Job's a good one.
I'm having another play later.
Whoa. As you can see, just knocking these bits out roughly with the chisel so that we can go over it with the router. Not looking for any great accuracy here, so this is just taking the meat off so that the router's got an easy life. Don't worry, when we come to fitting things like kitchens and what have you, chiseling will be a bit more accurate than this, and it'll be with me decent chisels, not these nasty horrible things. There we go. Let's set the router up. Right, I'll now clean these up with the router. Obviously that's left a rough edge and we need to get it nice and smooth and to the right depth. So I've got the router set up, which as you'll notice is 240 volt. And as we've said along the way, we are kind of off grid here, but there is a bank of solar panels and batteries on site that covers the whole of the moorings. So although we can get the 240 volt from that, we do have to be very careful because obviously that's to share out between everyone, and especially at this time of year there's not that much sun and therefore there's not that much power in them, hence why most of the stuff we want is battery powered or standard 12 volt that runs off our 12 volt system. But it does mean that as and when we need to, we can use the 240, which is what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to get on and clean these up while Dawn's tidying up. So that's how we do it. Obviously the router sets at the edge of the blade is the 23mm that we need it to be from there to the base. Then as you run it round in there, that obviously cleans it out to the right depth. We'll get all them done and we'll get another section of the floor in. Tidying nicely there, love?
Yes, darling.
It's like Christmas this, unwrapping gifts. Let's see what's on the other side. Oh look! All my Christmases have come at once. Sad all. Obviously we took this window out so we could assess the roof. We're not putting it back in properly now because, as you'll see, there's fiberglass repairs needed. But we just thought rather than sitting with the tarpaulin over it for the next few weeks, we'll just loosely put it back in, and at least it's got a window in. So we've worked this out. We're not going to drop the window in the water, are we?
No.
And we're not going to smash the glass, are we?
No.
Guess what? Two things are now going to happen. Dawn has got some washers and some nylock nuts. just get sort of 3 or 4 of them in loosely so that it's not wobbling about. When it comes to fitting these properly, there's about 20 different ways you can do it. Screws, pop rivets, bolts, sealant tape. It's a bit like discussing what's the best toilet on a narrowboat. Everyone's got their own ideas.
Push it.
But if you've got any suggestions, if you've fitted windows before and you've either found a certain technique worked or didn't work, drop it in the comments, because we're open to suggestions. That one in. And obviously before we refit these properly, we're going to give them a right good clean down, clean up, check any seals, change any seals that are damaged, etc. Like we say, we just think this is probably better than having a big hole in the side of the boat with just a bit of tarpaulin on it. Right. And typically, the bolts are 7mm, and the smallest spanner in my spanner set's 8mm. So Dawn's now got the faff about with a little pair of pliers trying to hold it. Are we ready? Yeah. Is it just me, or did that go far too easy?
Because I'm here.
True. I somehow think when it comes to doing it properly, it's probably going to be a bit trickier and a bit more time consuming than that. Yeah, window back in. Now we've put one window in, we need to take another window out. Right, we're now going to take this window out, because as we said earlier, we need to measure up how thick the pane of glass is and how thick the fiberglass is, so that we can order the right seal to replace them. It's like being at zoo, this, you know, with monkeys are behind glass. Oh, that didn't go down so well. In theory, what happens is, as you can see, it's coming out already. This is like a locking strip that holds the seal. So when I pull that out, it should slacken this seal off and the window should come out nice and easy. And as you can see, there's already a gap there. The one issue you can also see is because our mooring's on a curve, I've got like 4 foot of water just down there. Let's do it. I've got various tools to hand, because we don't know whether it's just going to pop out or whether it's going to be a nightmare. Dawn inside. Incidentally, before I go further, the join in the rubber strip is at the top on here, and everyone who's seen the boat said the join should be at the bottom, which in general I would agree with, but I did see somewhere that for some reason on boats you put the join at the top, whereas on cars you put it at the bottom. Does anybody know anything about that? Is it right it should be at the top, or should it be at the bottom like on a car? Drop it in the comments. Right, that's the locking strip out. So, I think this might come out quite easy. Are you there? There you go. Hold it with the seal if you can. In fact, will the seal pop off? Lift, will the window lift? Ta-da! Right, so we can measure up, obviously the thickness of the glass, the thickness of the fiberglass, and then it also needs the thickness of the gap between the two to make it a nice tight fit. But whether we'll pick that up on camera, you can see that rubber's all perished and split. Definitely had its day. Well, I think we've had a good day's work there, haven't we?
We have, we worked hard.
We've cracked on. We've got a fair portion of the flooring down, which Dawn's very lovingly painted the underside in the black in paint. So that's all nice and waterproof. As you will see, there is a strip down the middle. The idea of that is that from time to time, if we need to check the hull or anything, we can easily get to that, lift that, look underneath, make sure there's nothing untoward. And as it follows down to the end, there will be a bilge pump at the end. So again, we'll be able to regularly get to that to make sure it's not blocked or anything like that. But I think we've had a good day. I will be back tomorrow on my own because Dawn's at work again. So I should get the rest of the flooring down. So as long as I have, I'll now put a little picture of that up on the screen so that you can see what it looks like finished. Let's just jump forward then 24 hours from that point, and as you can see, I have basically got the floor fitted all the way along with the wings on each side. I must say the wings on the side aren't actually screwed down or anything at the minute, partly because there might be some areas where I just need to alter it slightly. There's going to be things like the fireplace and the shower tray, bits like that. They might just need these wings sort of altering, so we're not fastening them down until we're sure. And likewise down at this end, I've not actually put any wings in there because that's going to be where the kitchen cabinets and the steps are coming down. So that's definitely going to need to be changed around. And it seemed a bit daft making these little wing boards to just take them back up at a later date. But for now, we'll say our goodbyes, won't we? So hopefully people have
Liked it.
Indeed. Obviously they're not already subscribed, what should they do?
Press the subscribe button.
And then what else should they do?
Press the bell.
Ding the little bell so you get notifications. Because now we are full on the rebuild, aren't we?
Yeah.
We've turned that corner, we're not stripping out anymore, we're rebuilding. And like we said, with the plans that we've got from our work, that should mean that we can crack on.
Absolutely.
And make some progress a lot quicker. So I think we'll leave it there, and hopefully everyone's enjoyed watching, and we'll see you all soon. Goodbye.
Bye.